Hello everyone, my name is NDD200 and welcome back to how to make a FNAF Fangame on Scratch. Now this is part 3 and today we will be working on slight details of the office and starting to move our way towards the cameras. So if you notice anything different straight off, you'll notice that instead of just having an overall kind of darkness, excuse my voice crack there, if you notice it now flickers instead. Had looked back and I thought this looked much better. So what you're going to want to do is get rid of that whole darkness on the office desk, make a new sprite called Office Light Flicker, and you're going to want to create something like this. It looks bad in hindsight, but when it actually works, it looks good. You're going to want to do something like that, make sure one of them is white and one of them is black. Do something like that, and then what you're going to do is when a flag is clicked, set ghost effects 100, and then when I receive office, go to front layer, go backwards one layer, set ghost effects 60, and then in your forever bit, you're going to want to put repeat until night 1 done equals 1. You're going to, if you haven't already, you're going to want to make a variable called night 1 done, and you're going to want to set ghost effect to pick random 67 to 75. And then wait, pick random 0.02 to 0.04 seconds, and there you go. Obviously, in the main menu, you're going to want to set, so we've got set game begin to 0, but now we're also going to want to set night 1 done to 0, which is what we want. So now, if we check this out, we should hopefully see that it's working. And there you go, you notice a slight flicker and the light coming from the top there. Okay, great, that looks awesome. Okay, so now what we're going to do is actually start work on the camera button. So we're going to call this one camera up, and we are going to put it just over to the right, I reckon. We're going to want to make it white, fill it with white, make the outline black, and then yeah, something like that. So we're going to want to do that. Obviously make sure to put the X and Y's back at 0 so you know where it's going to be on screen. I think there would look good. And then we're going to want to do our lines to show that, yep, this is the one to turn it on. Just do that. Boom. Okay, nice. So now obviously that's there, but I can't really do anything with it yet. So we're going to want to do, when flag is clicked, hide. When I receive office, show. Now we're going to do when this sprite clicked, broadcast new message, cameras hide. Okay, so now we're actually going to move on to doing the cameras. Actually, if I backtrack a sec here, we're going to call it camera open, so that we actually have, because we're going to have 2 buttons for opening and closing the camera, so we don't want to confuse ourselves. Okay, I'm also going to add some ambience to the office. I'm not sure where I found this, but it sounds something like that. It's just a little bit of ambience. Now this is going to be very, very similar to the code for something else I may have done, but we're going to do this. So when I receive office, set volumes are 100%. And then we're going to do a repeat until 1, night 1 done, and we're going to do play sound. Well, here it's called Y2 Mate, but when I press this, you can kind of hear it. It plays some sort of ambience, which is what we want, so that's all good. Now, oh yes, and also make sure to put the go to front for the cameras when I receive office. So, go to front, yes. so now it appears. Now obviously, I've added something here. I've added the camera monitor. You're going to make a new sprite called camera monitor. And you're going to want to make it look something like this. I've just done something like this where it just kind of goes up, a little animation. So it goes up 6 and then it goes down. So that's what we're going to do. So you're going to want to have 5 sprites going up, a middle one which is it fully up, and then 5 sprites going back down. And the code you're going to want to do is when flag is clicked hide, when I receive camera open, ignore the one on the right for now. When I receive camera open, switch costume to up 1, start sound camera open. I have this sound. If you don't have that sound, that is okay. You can make your own one. Show, go forward 2 layers, set volume to 100%, start sound camera ambience if you have it. That's my one. I may link a project where I will put all the camera ambience for you if I remember to do so, or if you want that, please let me know in the comments below. So then we're going to do a repeat 5 next costume, wait 0.3 seconds and hide. Now the reason we're going to want to hide is because we're actually going to make a new sprite called camera. Now this is the actual cameras. We're going to put a placeholder for now, because obviously we just want to test to make sure this works. So we're just going to make a red sprite. We're going to call it placeholder. I can't see the text. I don't know what it says. There you go. We're going to call this a placeholder. And what we're going to do is we're going to do flag is clicked, hide. When I receive camera open, wait 0.3 seconds, show. Okay, so let's now test to make sure that this works. Okay, so we're in the office, everything's looking good, let's try it out. Okay, perfect, that's what we want. So now, we are actually going to add another button called, so we're going to duplicate the camera up sprite and we're going to rename it to camera down. And I'm simply just going to take, if I use this tool, then hold down shift and select these 2. We're going to flip these vertically and there we go. I might move them up a bit just so they look a bit better. But yeah, it's the same thing really. And I'm actually going to move it to the left, if I can, yeah. So I'm just going to move it to the left over here, so that the cameras aren't in the same place all the time. Slowly moving, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to want to do when I receive camera open instead of office. Ignore this for now, we'll do that in a sec. We're going to want to do wait 0.3 seconds, because that's how long it usually takes, and it's going to show. There you go. Make sure to set the X and Y axis to 0 as well. And then, instead of when this sprite clicks, we're going to broadcast camera close instead of camera open. And then we're going to hide it. So then, for the cameras, when I receive, let's find it real quick. When I receive camera close, hide. Now, we're going to go back to the camera monitor and we are going to do a new code, piece of code. Now this is where the right piece comes in. We're going to do when I receive camera close, show, start sound camera close. Mine sounds like this. Again, if you want these sounds, let me know in the comments below and I'll make sure to leave a link for next episode. Switch costume to down 1, repeat 5 next costume, set volume to 0% and hide. Now hopefully it should look something like this. Oh wait, actually, before we do it, if we go back to camera up, when I receive camera close, we're going to want to do 0.8 seconds and then show. So hopefully let's just make sure this all works. Perfect. Okay guys, that looks pretty good. I might move this one in a little bit just to make sure it isn't clipping in with... Ooh, just to make sure it isn't clipping in with... But yeah, basically, we have the cameras now, and it looks pretty great. So yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to want to do is actually add some static to the cameras. Where we're going to do this is you're going to make a duplicate of menu static, get rid of all of the code, and we're going to call it camera static. Now, I actually have my own here, so I'm going to talk you all through it. So we're going to just drop this in here. Okay. What we're going to want to do for the camera static is when flag is clicked, hide. When I receive office, set ghost effect to 100 and then hide. When I receive camera open, wait 0.3 seconds, forever, next costume. And then we're going to make another set of codes with the when I receive camera open. So when I receive camera open, wait 0.3 seconds, show, set ghost effect to 10, go forward 2 layers, start sound. Oh, I've got FNAF with static sound, so it just plays this. And then go to X0, Y0. Set pixelate effect to 200, repeat 10, change pixelate effect by -20, and then finally set pixelate effect to 0. Also, another one for when I receive camera open, wait 0.4 seconds, repeat 9, change ghost effect by 10, and set ghost effect to 90. When I receive camera close, set ghost effect to 100, hide, go backwards 1 layer. I'm hoping that should be it, because I don't understand why I had an Office 2 broadcast, but you know. Wowzers. Yeah, we don't need it. So that's what it looks like, guys. If you like the look of that, then yeah. Yeah, okay, basically what you're going to want to do, instead of go backwards 1 layer, you're going to want to change that to backwards 2 layers on the when I receive camera close. So if you just need to double check with all the code, check now. So we've got all that. Got that one there. Got that there. Got that there. And then we've got that one there. This is what it should hopefully look like at the end. And it looks really, really cool, guys. If you've managed to do all that, then well done. You've made some working cameras and it looks awesome. Okay, so that is where I'm going to leave it for today's video. I hope you've all enjoyed. Next time we will hopefully be designing the camera rooms and maybe some alternate cameras where the animatronics are there, if we get around to that. So yeah, that's all for now. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.